I'm a tax guardian. This photo expresses that I'm infuriated but not crazy. This concerns a book that I recently published. It's called The Tax Guardian. There's postings from my blog for the year 2009 and 2010. President Obama's first 2 years in office. I am pointing here at this diagram. It's found in this book here on page 6. Why the Reagan and Bush tax cuts are unfair. It was first published in 2005. Now, because that diagram is not very clear, I'm going to go to a slide. Here it is. This diagonal line right here represents the graduating income tax. On each level of income, the tax rates increase. It is based on the ability to pay. It's a fair tax. These vertical lines right here represent the brackets. Currently, the U.S. tax code, income tax, has 5 brackets. This line right here represents the mutilated U.S. income tax. It is very progressive here at the bottom. For example, when the second bracket changes into the third, it jumps from 15 to 25%. That's 10% increase on an increase of income of 25,000. Over here, when the fourth bracket changes into the fifth, the tax rate increases from 33 to 35%. That is a 2% increase. On an income of 200, on an income increase of $201,000. After $373,000, there are no further increases in the tax rate on these incomes over here in the millions. Now, these 3 vertical dark bars right here represent, or lines represent, the income of the top 1%, the top 1/10 of 1%, and the top 100th of 1%. The latest figures that I have is from 2005. The average income of the top 1% was 1.5 million. The average income of the 1/10 of 1% was 4.4 million. The average income of the top 100th of 1% was 24.3 million. But you know, they don't pay 35%. It's much worse than that. Because Bush, in 2003, he lowered the tax rate on dividends and capital gains to 15%. That is why, on these incomes over here in the millions, as their income increases, their tax rate goes down. Because a bigger percentage of their income is from dividends and capital gains. That's why Warren Buffett pays 17.4%. And the secretary over here in the fourth bracket pays 33%. Now, this cross right here represents that I'm advocating getting rid of this mutilated, unfair U.S. income tax and restoring progressivity on these higher incomes. Now, that's fair tax, because as your income increases, the more you benefit from the labors of others, the more you benefit from the exploitation of the country's resources, the more you benefit from the services of the federal government. Now let's go back to the cover of my book. I sent 10 copies to different millionaires and billionaires. Can we find it? The cover. Okay, thanks. We're getting there. I sent 10 copies to different millionaires and billionaires, some of who have pledged to give 50% of their money away. And I asked for a donation to my website. My goal is to create a nonprofit organization to act as a U.S. and world tax guardian. Of the 10 books that I sent out, I got 3 back. One was returned to me by Bill Gates. The second was returned to me by Eli Broad. He is a billionaire philanthropist. The third book was returned to me without the envelope being opened. Now, pasted on the front of this, I had a free book from the tax guardian, so the person receiving this parcel would know what was inside. Part of that label has been torn off and just the words tax guardian remains. Down here, I had pasted on the name and the address of the book, of the person that I sent it to. That has been torn off. It was glued on, and it was returned to me, the sender. Now, I would not know who returned this book to me except for the fact that I sent a letter to the person that I gave the book to. I'm going to take out that letter. This is the book, The Tax Guardian. And the letter was sent here to Howard Schultz. He's the CEO of Starbucks. I said, I heard you say to CBS's Scott Pelley, the lifeblood of the elections of every one of your congressional leaders in Washington is about fundraising, and I want to cut that off until we see civility, until we have a long-term debt deal that we are proud of. That requires, I said, electing the right legislators, but also public or voter enlightenment. Therefore, I am sending you with this letter, my latest book, The Tax Guardian, to read if you believe it would be helpful in that respect. Maybe the money you withhold from politicians, you can contribute to my website or blog if you think it would help solve the debt crisis. I also would like to make a video with you and me discussing taxes that I could post on my website. I think voters would benefit. What is your answer? Well, his answer is that he returned this book to me without opening the envelope. Now, I'll tell you why that is wrong. A true or righteous person who wanted to solve the U.S. debt crisis would first look at it before rejecting it. He rejected enlightenment. He closed his mind to the truth. The truth is, Howard Schultz, the CEO of Starbucks, does not pay his fair share of taxes. That's why he returned this book to me. He rejected enlightenment, and when you close your mind to the truth, that is diabolical. My time is running out. For more information visit my website, the Tax Guardian. Thank you.